know that that's possible though.
So why am I seeking truth instead of just playing the game?
Kind of like I'd want to know, like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like there's different ways to go about the truth seeking. You know what I'm saying? There's different conversations you could have. Like even when we talk about Tate, like there's different things he could have done that could have allowed him to.
You see, this is the thing with Bradley Martin. This is what I mean by he's so overly empathetic, is that, like you said, you're trying to have a certain conversation in a way in which it won't offend people. Guess what? People are having those conversations every single day, and they're getting posted on YouTube, but they don't get any attention. Why? Because it doesn't spark your interest, right? It doesn't sit here and trigger an emotion in you that gets other people talking. It's not shareable. So why should you have to sit here and tailor the message for it to be boring and for it to die out when you can sit here, make it more spicy, get the attention, and the people who actually are smart enough to seek the truth will see the value in that message. Sneako speaks his truth and calls out KSI and Logan on Bradley Martin's Raw Talk. Let's go.
By saying if I sound a little rusty, I sound a little silly or dumb, I slept 0 hours, like 0 minutes last night.
Excuse.
No, it's yeah,
That's great excuse.
It's a great excuse.
He's making excuses already, bro. Yo, everybody here, welcome back. MC Barca, what's up, bro? I hope y'all did your push-ups. I hope y'all did y'all workout. I hope y'all got the work done, all right? Made some ka-ching in the bank. It's 7 o'clock.
But I'm not even kidding about that. But anyways, I tweeted this, and you got a crazy amount of love on Twitter. People like,
And since then, I'm banned on Twitter.
yeah,
I was like wondering, I forgot that I had your number. I'm like, how am I going to contact you about where to go?
yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah, that's right. You see, Sneako was banned on, temporarily suspended from Instagram, temporarily suspended from YouTube for like about 10 days. So he hasn't been live for a while. All right, I haven't seen any of his videos go off. And yeah, now he's, I don't know, he's somehow got in contact with Bradley Martin, bro. This kid Sneako, he's just moving, bro. Just always doing something, always hustling, always motivated. All right, he's got a real drive, so it's important to sit here and watch him, I think, and also to support him.
What? So let's start there. Like, why are you banned on Twitter? Let's start right there. Because honestly, I'm hearing Twitter banned, and I'm like, that's the last place in the world I think anyone's ever been reported to be banned. Because it's like,
Because of the agenda.
there's just an active agenda against me right now. I don't think it's just YouTube and the social media platforms. I think it's the leftists who just don't like what I talk about. They're mass supporting everything. I have a strike on my channel at the same time. Twitter got suspended. Instagram's probably next. I don't know. I got to start preparing for the fact that they are actively trying to silence everything that I talk about.
Yeah.
And
So anybody think we're going to sit here and see Sneako on Rumble soon, just right next to Andrew Tate? They're going to sit here and take over that platform, make all that money.
I got to be ready for that. I got banned on Twitter for saying I challenged Lasanabi to a fight, and I said, I'm going to break your face. And that's like violent conduct. But I thought that UFC fighters talk about that all the time. I'm going to fuck you up.
I guess maybe it's
regular.
in context. Maybe it's in context where they're like, oh, well, they're like,
I said, I challenge you to a boxing match. I weigh 160, you weigh 230. I'm still going to break your face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, that's an actual threat through Twitter. I don't know if other UFC fighters have actually done that on Twitter, but they have said it in public interviews. At the end of the day, I think Twitter should know that he was joking. I mean, he wants to do it in real life, but he wants to do it legally with, not illegally, all right? Like in the streets, I want to break your face. He wants to do it in a boxing ring where people will pay tickets, attend just like a professional fighter, all right?
So that seems very reasonable. So
Suspended on Twitter permanently.
permanent.
Oh,
Permanently.
permanently, bro. Yo, free Sneako.
Yeah. This is a weird time, man. Like,
Before we get into this, I just want to say, like, it's really cool to meet you in person. I've been watching you since like 8th grade, since middle school.
that's fucking crazy.
No,
What?
deadass. I used to. You inspired me to go to the gym, like to first get into the gym. Like genuinely want to say thank you.
I appreciate it, man.
Like
Thank you.
I used to watch Bro Science Life back in the day. Shout out Dom Mazzetti.
Yeah.
Yo, look at how much bigger Bradley Martin is just in person, bro, compared to Sneako. Like, Sneako, bro, you might have taken his advice in 8th grade, but you was not putting up the work, bro, because you were nowhere near as big as this guy. And I feel like you guys are about the same height. Maybe he's a little taller than you, bro. I'm 5'4", so this is lean as ripped as I can get. I do need to eat more, though, that's for sure. Democrat Poop City. Yo, welcome back, bro. Yo, MC Barca, Democrat Poop City, y'all my people, bro. I ain't gonna forget y'all. On video, on Twitter, all day, every day, in little letters, not allowed. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Remember the first time you had a collab on that channel? I remember when you popped in and then he was doing the flies in front of you and was like, who's this guy? And then I started watching. I remember seeing you start your gym.
Yeah.
I've been watching your vlogs for a long time. Like not just like the comedy skits, but just seeing everything. And it's dope. Seeing you like start meeting the Nelk boys and everything.
Yeah.
And then to be here is like just wanted to say that before.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. Well, you got my attention, man, with the things that you've been doing. I mean, I think along the line of
to be honest, I think it's great that these guys are sitting here talking to each other, because if you've listened to Raw Talk by Bradley Martin, that's how I got introduced to him. I didn't even know he was on this space for a long time. I know he does like Alpha Lab, Leets or some shit like that. Like pretty much just like workout stuff. A lot of working out, a lot of workout motivation. But since I've been watching his podcast a lot lately, and I see that he's very empathetic, very opening, not very judgmental, not really trying to force or judge any ideas. He challenges them very, very little bit, but as much as he's trying to motivate men, I don't really think he challenges his circles, like his circle's ideas. Like, not really. He kind of just lets everybody do their own thing and kind of just like agrees with everybody. So it's like, that's why I put Blue Pill in the title, because he is a little bit more on the empathetic side. And he's a big dude. So, big dudes, they can either go very, 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 very aggressive by nature, or they can just naturally start becoming softer and softer and softer as men as they grow older. So, I don't know if I'd call Bradley Martin soft, but I'd say he's definitely very, very empathetic. And now you see, Sneako, very aggressive, very eager, very offensive towards other people. So he's got a lot of energy, bro. So I think we could learn a lot from this podcast in itself. Mass violence videos on Twitter. What? Really?
I started to see a bunch of Tate content pop up on TikTok. I started to see a bunch of your content pop up around the same time, because you'd have a lot. I don't know if you had conversations with the guy or you have a content with the guy, but you would seem to talk similar, obviously from a different perspective, your own. And I found out, obviously, you're 23. But I guess my question to you is like, what's your purpose in all of this? Like, why are you doing what you do?
I want to seek truth through funny. I always found that my favorite comedians, there was a level of truth to it. My favorite comedians are not just like being funny, being a clown, making dick jokes. Yeah. They're the reason that the stuff that I laugh at the most is stuff that's true. Like, it's funny because it's true. So my favorites are like Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal. Those people, or Bill Burr. The funniest bits and like the bits that I think about the most are just reveal a truth about the world, and in a way the joke connects it and it can kind of debunk a whole topic with one joke. I've always loved that the most, or like George Carlin's social commentary through comedy.
Yeah. So
that's what I want to do. I want to entertain people, but I want to follow truth to get there.
So what got you thinking about comedy but through truth? Like, what made you start to think that way? Because of what you saw?
Yeah, just watching stand up when I was like 10 and just like, whoa, this is dope. Like just one guy alone on the stage, being able to get ahead of the whole audience stuff.
So you see, what's very important about, like, I think your search for truth and your search for answers, that as a man, we kind of lack purpose. And as we're growing older, we're taught to chase the money, but chasing the money is going to build a big void in your almost like in your self-esteem or in your heart, essentially, because you're not really challenging yourself for growing in a self-development improvement kind of way. Right. So, seeking truth, I think, is the most important thing for self-development, all right? More than it is to chase the money, all right? When you seek truth, the money will come. And that's what I see a lot in Sneako. Sneako is trying to do it through an entertaining kind of way. He's trying to build this very, like I said, offensive, energetic kind of character so that he can capture attention and preach and look for and de-analyze the truth.
That the whole stand-up comedy in general just fell in love
why
with
why do you think you, as just a human, you think you seek truth? Because that's a different, comedy is one thing, right? But trying to seek truth through comedy is a completely different thing.
Because that's what's always the funniest thing is what's true.
No, it's not, bro. Comedy is always trying to tell the truth through by like de-escalation, through like jokes, trying to make people laugh. So like telling them the truth, but instead of overly offending them, you try to de-escalate by making them laugh. So it's like, you're laughing, but it's true.
True. Like when you're sitting around with a group of people and then there's tension or whatever diffuses the tension is just someone cracking a joke. Like if someone's self-esteem gets too high, someone brings them down, stupid, everyone, because it's grounding. It brings you back to reality.
So do you feel like you're completely grounded? Do you feel like there's times when you're not? Yeah.
No, and that's what people talk about me, like they compare me to Tate a lot. I've never called myself an alpha male. Like I'm here saying that you inspire me a lot to get into the gym. Like you help motivate me a lot. And I've never like tried to put up that image. Like I'm not a professional fighter. Like I'm a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know everything.
All right, bro. You're saying you never put up that image. You literally tweeted and got banned for telling Wasanabe, I'm gonna break your face, bro. Yeah, you are putting up that image, bro. Don't backpedal, bro. You know you putting up that image, bro. All right. You even said, yo, Tristan Tate passed me the Andrew Tate torch for a reason, to carry on the message, or the manosphere message through YouTube, right? Like, don't try to say you're not alpha male. I know you haven't said you're not alpha male. I think saying the words alpha male is kind of silly, but you're in the manosphere, bro. You're in the manosphere for sure.
I'm a young guy. I've grown up on YouTube. I've been doing YouTube for 9 years. I don't try to put up that image.
I'm trying to figure out in a roundabout way, like where you come from, like where you started, like who you are, and like why you're doing the things you're doing. So I'm just asking you questions that I'm trying to like.
That's just always what's mattered to me the most.
Yeah.
Like I just don't care about anything else besides that.
But how'd you develop that? Because here's the thing, right? Now we know nowadays you can't just say anything. Obviously, we started this talking about you got banned on Twitter for
freedom of speech is dead.
So yeah, like what makes you still go, okay, 23-year-old, right? Successful on YouTube, successful on Twitch, right?
No, I stream on YouTube on my second channel.
Oh crap! Why is it laggy?
So you stream on Twitch?
No, on YouTube.
You stream on YouTube. My bad.
I can't right now. I have a strike for election misinformation.
So you've always streamed on YouTube. So
I just started 2 months ago.
That's crazy.
I just started. I grew 600,000 subscribers this summer. It's just from streaming.
So
on my second channel.
This is where I'm getting at with this question. Sorry, let me rephrase this. Is you have success, you're 23 years old, you've obviously watched content creators that you really thoroughly enjoy, like people who've inspired you in different avenues of your life. You know that you can make an incredible living from YouTube, right?
Until I get banned, yeah.
Okay, yeah, but this is what I'm saying. So this is what I'm getting at. You know that that's possible, though.
So why am I seeking truth instead of just playing the game?
Kind of like I'd want to know, like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like there's different ways to go about the truth seeking. You know what I'm saying? There's different conversations you could have. Like even when we talk about Tate, like there's different things he could have done that could have allowed him to.
You see, this is the thing with Bradley Martin. This is what I mean by he's so overly empathetic, is that, like you said, you're trying to have a certain conversation in a way in which it won't offend people. Guess what? People are having those conversations every single day, and they're getting posted on YouTube, but they don't get any attention. Why? Because it doesn't spark your interest, right? It doesn't sit here and trigger an emotion in you that gets other people talking. It's not shareable. So why should you have to sit here and tailor the message for it to be boring and for it to die out, when you can sit here, make it more spicy, get the attention, and the people who actually are smart enough to seek the truth will see the value in that message? That's what Bradley Martin doesn't really comprehend. Or he just doesn't want to accept the truth.
And this is just my perspective. Let's say he don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. He just wanted to do it because he's already successful prior, and all his reasons why. But there are always different ways to go about things that can help people see truth from a different perspective or in a different lens than what they're normally used to. And the reason why I say this, because we're talking earlier.
So you're saying simplify it, dumb it down so that you don't get banned?
Not necessarily, no. It's about...
No, he's trying to say be more empathetic, bro. That's what he's trying to say.
It's about the way you seek it, right? So what I was telling you earlier, like, you know, we have this like idea in our world today, our society, everyone's like freedom of speech and left side and right side, and like these people are in power or these people aren't, or, you know, these voices are being swayed, left spectrum, right spectrum, right? And then we want to fight for the side that we feel like, hey, this is right. And the other side wants to fight for the side that they feel like, hey, this is right, okay? And I said that to you earlier about fighting. Mm-hmm. Fighting is the reason why we're here. Why we're getting to these points of like, that guy's gone, this guy's gone, right? Because everyone's thinking, okay, that side has the more power right now. So if you're not on that side, then you're gone. So the reason why I brought up, it sounds weird, but surrendering and not fighting, and you don't surrender fully, right? Because if you talk about like, I mean, shit, I even saw this on your header.
You see, bro, surrendering, not fighting, being comfortable, finding a way to avoid direct conversation and try to get the conversation so that they feel good about it, all right? These are things the world doesn't owe you understanding, All right. As a creator, you can choose to sit here and be inflammatory in the way in which you speak, but you don't have to do that. And that's what makes you unique, is finding your own unique voice and how you want to say things. I shouldn't have to be muzzled or suppressed because of the way other people feel. And that's the sight that we're truly losing on this internet bullshit.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? The idea of being combative and like having to fight sometimes creates just more and more fights. And so I'm not saying you surrender and give up and you don't speak your mind or you don't speak your points, but you think of different ways through it.
You have to navigate around the system.
Exactly.
You got to play the rules of the game. But even when you do that, they still will try to cancel you for anything. They try to say that I'm harassing people.
So who's saying this? It's just like
everybody. Like there's a new video trying to cancel me every single day. And it gets repetitive at this point. People call me up like, why don't you react to this? I'm like, you all sound the same.
Do you think so? So here's my question. And do you think though because like I'm trying to put myself in your position, right? When I've had the most friction in my life, there was moments where I'm like, why is this happening to me? Who's doing this to me? Why are people doing this?
I know who's doing it. I don't know, but
why. What I'm telling you is this. I used to feel like, why is this happening to me? Why is someone doing this to me? You
victimize yourself?
Essentially, yeah, in a sense. But then I realized, wait, there are things that I'm saying. There are things that I'm doing. There is stuff that I'm throwing out there that I allow people.
What did you ever say? I've been watching you for years. What did you ever say to... I hear this a lot from creators who are successful.
You see, and this is where Sneako is getting him finally, because he's over here, he's trying to victimize himself. He's trying to find a way in which other people were seeing him as maybe slightly offensive, so he had to tone it down a little bit, back up, really monitor, really, be PG about the message in the way in which he's saying it so he can cater to more people and grow his audience, all right? I understand that perspective, from a capitalistic perspective, from a businessman's perspective, from a brand perspective, but when your message is to seek out the truth, you tend to put those things aside and people tend to respect you more because your commentary is a lot more genuine.
Eventually like, well, I was kind of an asshole. I was kind of being a dick. I'm a bad person. I get why.
No.
But then what did you do? Tell me.
Okay, so that's fair. No, you have a good point. I've never actually done anything really negative or bad to anyone, but I think there can be situations in which, like, I've been for sure attacked from people for their own clout reasons, to get views, to get likes, to stir up drama, like even told by those people in person, like, yo man, this is kind of why I did it. Sorry, like you were the bigger person. Like it's a part of the game. I'm not saying I'm just like, hey, I need to just go get fucked and like not stand up for myself and not say anything. But I've realized like sometimes fighting doesn't get you any farther. Like it doesn't get you actually further because
it doesn't get you farther, but maybe.
I don't know if that's true even in their world. Look at Jake Paul. All right, look at all the people he's called out. Look at him just constantly being on people's ass, always pushing his promotions. And that's why I like to sit here and watch him fight, bro, because he's a man of action. He speaks his truth. He manifests it by putting in the hard work, and then he actually goes out and does it. Okay? That's how Jake Paul is able to keep his name up higher and higher and higher, even when Logan Paul fought Mayweather, the greatest boxer ever. And Jake Paul is still the best YouTube boxer, I think, online at this present moment, because he talks his shit. He is inflammatory and he backs up what he says. All right. And we're losing this battle every single day with social media. Every single day. It's, oh, be comfortable. Oh, be sensitive. Oh, watch what you say and watch how people feel. Like, shut up.
It gets the truth a little further.
But see, so truth is in this case subjective, right? Truth is in this case also perspective. The thing that I wanted to bring up and I really wanted to talk to you about specifically, and this is not me trying to say you're right or wrong at all, but the idea to get people like you and everyone else listening to think, almost encourage the listeners or the viewers just to think more critically.
That's what I do.
Yeah. And I'm not saying you don't.
That's why I encourage long form content. I say people always clip stuff out of context and they try to make it look bad. Yeah. I tell people all the time, think for yourself, because all you are brainwashed. People look at TikTok now and their attention spans are so bad. Yeah. They get manipulated, they get swayed. Oh, this is bad, and they flip like that. Yeah. I tell people all the time to think critically.
So the question, so this is the thing, right? The question is, how do you think we... Because it's one thing to say, and I was literally up all night thinking about this last night. It's one thing to say people should think more critically, because I think that is the root issue in all of this. We talk about like the cancellation stuff, the issues in like
people are manipulated with their emotions now. You can manipulate with fear and empathy. It's very easy to. The reason that people got so mad at you for keeping your gym open was like, he's killing my grandma. But it's just a gym. Your grandma's not in Bradley Martin's gym. That makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many reasons.
Boom. Sneako nailed it right there. No, there's not so many reasons. There's literally one reason, bro. Is people try to manipulate your emotions and then control what you say based off how other people are feeling, bro. And that's fine if you want to sit here and spread that message. I don't think you shouldn't spread that message, all right? But what I do think you should not be able to do, and this is the line that they've crossed so far, is what I always say, is when you're deplatforming and canceling people for just having an opinion, bro. That shit is dumb, all right? But what I really think that Bradley Martin is trying to say here is pretty much that Sneako might get he's getting a lot of controversy because of the energy or the offensive energy that he's putting out there into the world. He's getting it 10 times back. And the truth is that there's no way to avoid that. So you might as well be able to steer the ship by facing it head forward. All right. And that's what you can sit here and learn from messages like this is, yo, guess what? Don't try to avoid the conflict. Don't try to avoid the failures in your life. Face it head forward like a man.
Around that one. Yeah, it's so this is what I'm saying. So how do you think as creators and influencers, because you have a lot of influence and your influence is growing, right? Which is why people, for now, that's why people attack you, right? Yeah. And because you do dance the line of like, can he say that? Should he say that? And people are making judgments on you for it. But the question is, the thing I think we should teach the audience more and more, which is so fucking important, is critical thinking. So obviously we know that now, right? How do you teach someone to actually critically think? And because the question I was racking my brain about this last night, I was like, what actually is critically thinking? Like, how do you teach someone to think critically? Because that's part of learning.
Yeah.
Like, so that's great. It's great that Bradley Martin is raising this question because it's very important for all of us to understand. Even me watching right now, it's like, what is critical thinking? Critical thinking is putting a lot of thought into something and challenging your beliefs, challenging your ideas by looking at the opposing side, all right? When you have a concrete idea, think about all the things, all the arguments that other people are going to make that will break down your argument, all right? And if you can sit here and solve those problems or solve those questions or come up with answers for those questions, all right, and then find reasonable proof, that's how you become a critical thinker, because now you're really breaking apart the question and your own answer. You're breaking it apart and then seeing how it can be attacked, and then you're reaffirming it. You're building up almost a wall, right, by answering all those problems. That's how you think critically.
What do you think about it? Like, how do you think you could teach someone to think more critically?
You just tell them. I don't know. You have to analyze the situation. Don't get manipulated based off one clip.
Yeah.
You have to watch multiple perspectives. You need to get out of the little bubble you're in. I think just acknowledging the fact that most people are brainwashed immediately is the best way to start thinking critically. The fact that you just listen to one side and you believe one side.
Self-awareness and self-accountability is how you will reach success in critical thinking. You're
polarized just from that, but I don't think you can. Like, we could tell people think critically now. You can't force someone's brain to work the way it should work, and they don't want to. People don't have the attention spans. Like, even most people will not watch this whole podcast. They'll see like a 2-minute clip on Twitter or on TikTok or something like that, and now they'll make a whole judgment off of the whole show, and they don't know what we're talking about or the context.
And that happens a lot. So I think
it's more often than people actually watch the whole show.
Oh, I think it happens. Yeah, I think it happens. I mean, I can look at watch time in videos and podcasts and be like, most people watched 20 minutes, 19 minutes of this, and it was an hour-long podcast, right? And so they kind of went and found the parts that they wanted to see. Like, that's typical on YouTube. Like, if you have a video that's an hour long, people, maybe your average watch time is like 23 minutes, just to give people reference points of like this, what I'm saying to be true. 23 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe 50 minutes. Like, if you're like, it's a super compact video, if that's where I'm getting at is how do you think we encourage and teach people to think more critically other than just saying it? Because both sides can say the same thing. If we talk about like a perspective, right? If I say, hey, I believe this versus you believe that, and you're wrong and I'm right, and here's why, and here's all my points. I think the way to critically think and to encourage critically thinking, like for people to, it's hard, but like, you have to.
You see, he literally just stated what critical thinking is, and then he's like, no, wait, that's not the way you should go about it. So that's literally how you have a debate. That's how you sit here and have great sense of communication, right? Is by sitting here, listening to the opposing side speak, and then you listen to them reinstate what they're saying, right? Now you guys are both at equal levels. Now you provide your counter argument, all right? It's not hard. It's easy, bro. It's easy. It takes a lot of effort in your own brain. It's something that you have control over. Nobody else has control over that, all right? But what people try to do is they try to manipulate your feelings to make you feel bad for thinking a certain way.
Be willing to not accept the other perspective to be true, but you have to be willing to put yourself, be wrong, put yourself in those shoes and go.
Okay, great. Somebody sat here. All right. Chef Curly. Critical thinking is good, but when I sit down and think about the issue, I feel like I'm biased on my thinking. Okay, great. Because at the very least, you've hit step one, right? Where you're admitting that you're biased, that you have one point of view. Okay. So look at all the opposing views. Open yourself up to look at all these different perspectives and put yourself in their shoes. Why are they saying this? Where is it coming from? Are they making sense? Are they being delusional? Or, really try to understand their perspective, because when you have that insight in your opposing view, okay, when you have that insight, when you can understand where they're coming from, at the very least, whether you disagree with them or agree with them, doesn't matter. All right, now you can dissect why they're right or why they're wrong. Okay, what sources do you have to provide that validates your argument? What sources do they have to provide that validates their argument? Okay, and that's kind of where you just go back and forth, and you're almost like finding, like you're sharpening a sharp sword, and that's your brain, bro. That's how you're thinking critically, bro. All right, damn, I gotta stop. Even me, I have to stop saying, bro.
What does this look like? What does this really feel like? Why if you put yourself in that other person's shoes, like in this case, what's his name?
Don't say his name.
Fucking guy. Anyways, you put yourself in his shoes and be like, okay, why is this guy
I know exactly why he's doing that, because they are told, I'm on the right side of history, I'm saving people, I'm right, they're wrong. They don't even know, they don't even think about the possibility that they could be wrong. They don't even think about how they're like preying on someone's downfall by trying to get me banned. They don't think about like how this is affecting me. They don't think about like maybe if they disagree that they could try to communicate. There's no more communication. And it is coming from the left. We have prioritized people's feelings over truth. If you feel harassed, if you feel bad, you can delete their channel. You can silence them. It's like it's child behavior, and we've encouraged it. And every single
And you know what the problem is when you sit here and you silence the other opposition, when you silence the opposing view, guess what? You don't get rid of them. People aren't just going to stop talking about it. They're just going to do it in circles. They're going to do it behind people's backs, and it's going to become a bigger thing. And guess what? When it's internalized, what happens when you sit here and you internalize all your anger, right? Your rejection, your sense of rejection, your sense of anger, your sense of unfairness. What do? It balls up into this anger, and then what do? It lashes out in a physically violent way. That's why you don't silence people, okay? That's why you don't do that. It either causes mass depression, where they end up doing what? Deleting themselves, right? So that's why nobody in the Red Pill community is even trying to silence the left side. They're trying to attack them head on, because it's the only thing that they have control over, that they can do. That's it.
social media platform has encouraged it too. And I genuinely think it's too late for most people in Gen Z. I think there needs to be a new platform. I think there needs to be a whole new system, because even the way I hear you talk about it now, like, sometimes I realize like I've made some mistakes and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
People doing that over and over and over again is how we got to this point. People can't handle it. They can't hear, they cannot disagree. Maybe the best way to encourage critical thinking is to be okay with disagreeing. But because even conversations like this are so rare, how rare it is for people to even be like mentally capable of having a disagreement now. People get offended so quickly, and then they'll start attacking. They don't even know how to challenge their own beliefs. People are so stuck in their ways. I'm saying like we really need to start new.
And like I said, that's why Sneako, he is a great thought leader in YouTube right now, bro. All right, because he sits here. If he has a problem, he reacts to the video. Guess what he does? He has enough clout where he just calls him up. Yo, let's get on Discord. Yo, let's talk it out real quick right now, man to man. That's it. That's the good example in which he's leading, bro. There's zero creators that are really doing that. Maybe Gideon, and he just popped off and doing that because of Sneako.
Platform, because Facebook, Twitter, they've all encouraged it. And I'm gonna say this again. We were talking about the impulsive podcast that just came out. Everybody liked that.
All right, hold up. I'm going to start a new video. All right. So if you haven't subscribed, don't bother subscribing unless I provided you actual value that you can apply to your life. Peace.